So today I'm going to show you guys how to make this very simple top. I am making it with about 1 yard of fabric that I have. Is just a cute summer top. So the first thing you're going to do is to cut out your back panel. So this is going to be my back panel here. I folded it into 2, and then the width here is basically my bust measurement divided by 4 plus like extra 1.5 inch, half an inch of 1 inch of seam allowance, half an inch of ease. So that's what I have here. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to insert my shoulder measurement. So my shoulder is about 16 divided by 2, 8. So I'm going to mark that here, come down by 1 inch of shoulder slope, and then connect my armhole, which is going to be 9. My armhole divided by 2 is 18. 18 divided by 2, which is going to give me 9. So I'm going to mark that down here. So guys, the next thing I'm going to do is just to give it a curve. This is going to be a very quick tutorial. And then down here, so basically my bust is 42 divided by 4 is 10.5, right? And then I added extra 1.5 to it. So it's supposed to be about 12 inches. So that's why what the weight is. So now at this bottom part, you're just going to divide your waist measurement by 4. So I'm working with waist of 34. Divided by 4 is going to be 8.5. Mark that here, and then just add my seam allowance again. About 1.5 is what I'm going to do. Or I can do 1 inch down here because you want the waist to be fitted. So just add 1 inch here. But by the bust, I don't want to make it too tight. So now I'm going to connect it to the down here, and then I'm going to cut this part out. So the next thing is to mark my neckline. I want to use about 3 inches for my neckline. So mark 3 inches distance from the end, and then connect it to that 1 inch of shoulder slope that I marked here. Connect it down to this point. So now this is my back panel, remember. So I'm going to come down here by about 1 inch or 1.5, depending on how you want the back neckline to be. So I'm going to just cut this part out. Also cut out the shoulder slope. And then using this back panel now, I'm going to trace out my front panel. So guys, like I said, you can do, if you have a lot of fabric to work with, then you can use more extended parts. Like you can fold the fabric in such a way that your belt, the whole length of your belt can fit in here. But like I said, I'm using just 1 yard of fabric here. So all I did is just to fold another fabric into 2 here, and then place my front panel on my back panel on it. So I have about extra let's say up to 5 inches at the center here. I'm going to just cut off the excess on this whole side up to the shoulder slope, and then so guys, I cut off the excess from here, cut this out, cut this one out, and now from this very end here, I'm going to mark just to know where to cut, where the end of this neckline goes up, the tip of that point. I'm going to mark it, and then at this end here, I'm going to just mark about 4 inches, because remember I need 1 inch to fold the edge here. The length I'm working with here, it depends on you. My shoulder to waist is 17, but I added about extra 2 inches, so I have 19 inches here. So I need about 1.5 of seam allowance. So in total, the length of this top might end up being 17.5, just half an inch below my waist, because I need 1 inch of folding it at the edge and half an inch of joining it to the shoulder. You can make yours longer if you want to. So this here, I'm going to come up here by about 4 inches. You can do 4 inches, you can do 3.5 distance from the edge to this point, and then from here now you can connect it from the tip of that shoulder. You can connect it to that end of, because this is where my line is, somewhere here. So now I've connected it. I'm going to just go ahead and cut this part out now. Guys, I don't want, this is for me, and I don't want the chest to open, so that's why I made this line this way. But if you want it to be a lot more open, maybe you have a smaller bust or you have a big bust and yet you want it open more, guys, you can just come down, bring down your hand a little bit on the side and open it up more. Just know that when you tie it, you have a lot of cleavage out. So now I'm going to just cut this part out. So guys, as you can see, I didn't add any darts. That's because this is not going to have a dart. You know, normally on our basic bodies, you add 1 inch of darting, 1 inch of side seam allowance. So as you can see on this top here, there's no dart. So that means the waist here is just your waist measurement and then your side seam allowance. Even for the front, there will not be any that. So what I need to do now is just to go to the sewing machine, join the shoulder to the shoulder. So this is my back panel now. This is the back here, and then this is the front. Just join one side of this front on this side and then the other side of the front to this side. But before that, I need to reduce my front armhole a little bit because there's going to be a sleeve here. So on this armhole part, I'm going to come up by half. I'm going to mark in between here. So halfway through, remember it's supposed to be about 9 inches somewhere here. And then halfway through this part, I'm going to mark about 4.5 down here. I'm going to mark half an inch here and then bring this down in a straight line just to cut off this excess from here, because this armhole in front is supposed to be deeper than the one at the back. So now I'm going to cut this off, and then we are going to go ahead and also cut our sleeve. So guys, this is going to be my sleeve, 2 fabrics folded into 2. This is the first one on a fold, and then this is the second one on a fold. So the width I'm using here is basically my armhole measurement plus x divided by 2 plus extra 1. That is the width I have here. So the next thing I'm going to do is to come down here by about 4 inch, and the length I have is 12.5. I need 1 inch of folding the edge and half an inch for joining this top part. So when I'm done, I might have just 11 inches left for the length of my sleeve. Guys, you can also make yours longer than this if you want to. And then I'm going to just come down here and mark about 4 inches down from the top here. If you want to make yours a puffy sleeve at the shoulder, I don't want to make it a puffy sleeve, but if you need it to be a puffy sleeve, then you need to add like extra 2 inches more on top of this, right? So that means 6 inches above, right? So like the fabric is supposed to go even all the way up to this part, but I'm just making mine to be a basic sleeve that has the elastic down here. So after that, the next thing you're going to do is to mark a straight line down to this point. From here, connect it to the edge, and then once you connect it, halfway through is going to be 5.5 for me. Find halfway through that straight line, give it a curve below, and then give it a curve above. Guys, I've made a puffy sleeve several times on my channel, but I'm going to link it so you guys can see. But basically what a puffy sleeve means is that you're going to add, depending on how puffy you want it, 3 inches or 2 inches at the top. And then after marking your basic sleeve from the next 4 inches that you've marked, right, you mark 2 inches above, mark extra 4 inches for your sleeve cap and for your cap height. And then after marking that, from where this center line that you marked, right, the difference of this straight line where you marked that, you're going to now connect it above to that upper part. Like if this is on your fabric, you're going to just connect it here. That way now you've made your puffy sleeve. But I'm not making mine a puffy sleeve, so that's why my sleeve just starts. I'm going to just cut this right from where it stops here. So after that, now I'm not going to reduce the edge of this because I'm going to still use elastic to pull it together. So guys, the next thing is just to, as you can see, I came up here by about 2 inches after folding the edge of my clothes. So now I'm just going to take this elastic. I measured it with my arm, like round my arm to see what it will be. So this is what I need, and then I'm going to take it this way and stretch it all the way to the end, and then sew it down with a straight stitch. Once I sew this down on this cloth, it will pull it together like this. So right now I've done this one here, I've done one side, and I want to show you guys. So you see, on one side I've done it, and then I went ahead and attached it to the body. Also, I've gone ahead and used bias to finish up the neckline, and all I did is just to cut a strip of fabric that is like 1 inch of width, very long. Use it to turn this neckline over, and then close the side of this one. So now I'm going to finish this other side of the sleeve. So guys, see what this one looks like on the inside. You see, this is it here with the elastic, you see. So you just use a straight stitch and sew on top of the elastic, but while you're sewing, just keep pulling it. You see, once I pull it, the elastic stretches out and the fabric stretches. So but when I pull it together, you see, it comes together this way. It gives me that ruffle. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and do it on this side, fold the edge, and then make the extra like 2 inches width of long strap that looks like a belt that I'm going to attach to the edge of this here. Guys, this is it here. I'll finish the top here. This is what it looks like. So right now the only thing left is just to attach the strap here. So all I have to do now, there are two ways I can do this here. I've already made the belt. I can just take it, sew it down this way and attach it. Just sew it down and it's attached this way. If you are going for a neater look, you can just take it here, place it inside of this, and then sew it down, sew it back and forth, and then leave about half an inch at the edge here, and then continue to sew it all the way to the end, right? Just sew it like this inside of this all the way to the end of the belt, and then once you're done, you now flip it out. It will give you a neat look, anyone you decide to do. So I'm just going to go ahead and attach mine, and that will be it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. Bye.